thumbs up, up. Yeah. Thumbs up. A lot going on. There's a lot going on. Damn. Oh. Yeah. A lot going on, baby. Somebody better go check on Jason. Thumbs up. And better go ahead and get into it, you guys. If you guys hear some background music, I got a whole like party, a whole situation going on in my house, girl. This is how dedicated I am to y'all, girl. Okay, I got other things that I'm supposed to be doing right now. Here it is, I am, girl, getting into this live coverage, girl, because we got to come and talk about it. All right, we got to get into it. Oh, I love it. So if you guys hear some background music, girl, it's a party, yardy. Can y'all hear that? Can y'all hear that in the background? Let me know if y'all can hear the music playing in the background. Yes. Is it distracting? If it's distracting, then I may tell them to just shut the hell up. Y'all can hear it, but is it distracting? Okay, some of y'all can't. We did, and please make it stop. It's not distracting. Okay, so I said no. Faintly. Okay, faintly. All right, good. Okay, see? All right, so let's proceed then. All right, so you guys know what we're here to talk about, girl. Tony Buzbee and Little Miss Leprechaun Bob, girl, are having a major win today in court. We're going to be talking about it, child. So get ready. Cause yes, we're gonna have to do some bobbing and weaving today, bitch. All right. Before we get into the thick of it, go ahead and thumbs up the video until it's absolutely stuck. You guys know that thumbing up not only helps with YouTube's algorithm, but more importantly, it triggers up YouTube's notification system. So when you are thumbing up the video, you are literally knocking on the digital door of another conscious crew member and telling them to get their black asses into the sanctuary. Okay. Also, make sure that you guys have your notification bell set to all, because you never want to miss a day or hour when the king is in fact kinging. And shout out to all the new subbies, girl. We are almost at 51.7. And last but not least, please share the stream out to wherever it is you have digital community, whether that be your YouTube community wall, your Snapchat, your Scruff, your MySpace, your Plenty of Fish, your Grindr, your Twitch, your Rumble, your Facebook, or the dark side of your Tumblr or personal OF. I don't really give a damn where you lay the link. Just let them whole words know that we're live, and we're certainly in color. With no further ado, let's go ahead and push on through. Okay.
I know a place where you can recharge your soul.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
And in the midst of brokenness, he gon' see your asshole.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
You gon' heal, you gon' laugh and catch a little shade.
Ooh, girl.
Y'all know he be slaying, y'all better stop playing. Come hear what he's saying.
Ladies and gentlemen.
All right, let me shout out my baby mother Star for the old nasty piece of child support chat. Thank you, baby mother Star. Thank you for your hard work. Thank you even more, baby mother. I do this for y'all, baby. All right. Now, I'm about to switch over to this mic here. You guys may hear the party music a little louder because I'm on the mic, but y'all let me know. All right, I'm about to switch it over right now. And y'all tell me if the background music is loud. Okay, I just switched the microphone. Is the background music loud? Can you guys hear the background music? Or does it still sound kind of faint, non-distracting? Give me one if you're non-distracted. Give me two if the background music is distracting. I got a party going on in my house. So, okay. No, it's gone. What? Oh, the noise cancellation on Miss Mike. Yes, honey. You got to be up close, honey, to get up in this thing. All type of atrocities could be going on in my damn background in this microphone. Okay, see, now the heathen's coming in with two. Let me see. Hold on, girl. I might have spoke too damn soon. I got two twos. Wait a minute. So everybody still giving a 1? I want to make sure before we go forward because I don't want to hear no shit. Okay, everybody saying can't hear it. All right, it's gone. Okay, it's gone. Everybody saying 1. All right, okay. Oh, all right. Everybody good. Okay, all right. So let's get into it, girl, because I got things to do as we can hear. There is a lot going on, girl. Now, you know, the last time that we spoke about the Jay-Z litigation with this old nasty piece of 38-year-old woman who is a mother of 2 teddy bears who came through, girl, to the NBC news station claiming that she made some inconsistencies in her story and there may be some errors and contradictions, and she even did her fair share of guessing, bitch, about this infamous night back in the year 2000 where as a severely autistic 13-year-old girl, she skedaddled out of her own home, drove with a bitch across town who's now dead 5 hours away to Midtown, tried to fraudulently break into the damn Radio City Music Hall, girl, to view the year 2000 VMA ceremony to no avail, only to ironically get into the proximity of a P. Diddy limousine driver who then drove her ass to his alleged after party where she claims that not only did Diddy grape her, but Jay-Z also graped her in a now amended complaint. You guys know that Jay-Z and Alex Spiro have done exceptional, girl, in absolutely debunking this, on top of now having the 38-year-old woman's own admission, baby, that she played a major guessing game and that the bitch motherfucking lied. Okay? Point blank and a goddamn period. Tony Buzbee Ben put his Timu suit in his mouth, girl, by also admitting that the only vetting he did of this woman was interviewing her, okay? She came from another law firm that was intelligent enough to not embarrass their damn selves by taking on this woman as an actual client. But now I am of the suspicion that the reason why he took her on was because she was never actually meant to go head-to-head with Jay-Z. They were actually attempting to simply straddle and shake Jay-Z down for 6 million Bitcoins. But as a result of Jay-Z turning around and suing Tony Buzbee for extortion, Tony Buzbee then doubled down on the petty by making Little Miss Leprechaun Bob amend her complaint to officially include Jay-Z. But of course, that's not going to work out well for Little Miss Leprechaun Bob, nor salacious clout chasing as Raggedy Buzbee, because the facts are just facting in this case. Whether they allow Jay-Z to expedite this case, whether they allow her to proceed with anonymity for a time being, whether they take this shit all to trial, the conclusion is going to be in favor of Jay-Z, because that's just where the facts motherfucking are. All right? The courts can decide to drag this out as long as they want to, baby. It's not going to change the end result. But the judge has officially responded to Jay-Z filing for the unveiling of Little Miss Anonymity's actual identity, okay? Not only did he submit a motion to have her identity revealed, which is happening in other litigations involving Diddy. You guys know that various judges are requiring the plaintiffs to reveal their identities, or else they cannot proceed with a litigation. So some of them have decided to come out in their government name and in the identities that their mammies gave to them, while other individuals are able to proceed anonymously, where the judge responded to those motions. And you guys also know that Jay-Z was attempting to also get the courts to expedite a hearing so that he could just practically be redacted from this whole thing. The fact as it relates to supporting his goddamn innocence. He's a businessman, etc. Girl, he don't want to be tied to and aligned with something like this going into 2025, especially considering that his wife Beyonce is going on tour, etc. And there's nothing that can happen to Jay-Z that doesn't impact Beyonce one way or the other. Okay. So there's all of that transpiring, girl. On top of that, the judge, girl, absolutely dragged the remaining baby hairs off of Alex Spiro as, who the judge is accusing of basically, girl, treating the courts like a Brooklyn Bed-Stuy corner hole. Okay? And the judge is not here for it, all right? Now, I got some interesting things to point out about what's transpiring, but let's go ahead and get into the motions first, and then I'm going to give you guys my commentary. And once again, what you are about to hear from is the judge's response to all of the motions in question. I don't care about whether Jay-Z ain't innocent completely. We focus on him being innocent in this situation. I'm not here to make Jay-Z ass a supervillain about a bunch of hypothetical shit. Jay-Z ass is innocent in this matter here, okay? If he killed Aaliyah, if he great Damon Dash, honey, whatever he done did, that's here nor there, honey. Okay, we talking about this situation here, baby, where he is in fact innocent. And just because he's innocent in this situation doesn't mean that Jay-Z is not guilty of other things. But what we're not going to do is do no projecting, and we're not going to force fetch to happen just because some of y'all want to see Jay-Z go down. The only people I want to go down in this society are people who are guilty factually of the things that they're being accused of, okay? My bias does not prohibit me for asserting the facts and actual justice over personal biases and narratives. I don't get into that. All right, let's get into it, child. Judge Torres, girl, okay? Get into this, child. Plaintiff Jane Doe filed this action on October 20th of 2024, alleging violation of the New York City Victims of Gender-Motivated Violence Protection Act, NYC Admin Code, By order dated November 6th of 2024, the court provisionally granted plaintiff's motion to proceed anonymously, explaining that defendants had yet to appear in this matter and that the balance of interest weighing for or against anonymity may shift as her suit continues. On December 8th of 2024, plaintiff amended her complaint to add Sean Carter, known professionally as Jay-Z, as a defendant. Plaintiff again sought leave to proceed anonymously, but this time Carter's counsel appeared and moved to deny her motion, or in the alternative to dismiss her amended complaint pursuant to Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 12. Carter also moved for an expedited hearing on the issue. The next day, Carter's attorney filed a letter containing a declaration from an associate at his law firm recounting a phone conversation she had with an unnamed woman who claimed that plaintiff's counsel encouraged her to lie about her experience of sexual assault. Carter's lawyer asked the court to consider the additional information in connection with plaintiff's motion to proceed anonymously. Plaintiff's counsel denied Carter's allegations against him. On December 13th, Carter's attorney filed an additional letter alerting the court to a recently published interview of plaintiff on NBC News. The interview, plaintiff speaking anonymously, explained her allegations against defendants and her reasons for coming forward now. Carter's lawyer points to the interview in which plaintiff admitted to inconsistencies in her story as evidence that plaintiff's claims have no factual basis whatsoever. He also argues that plaintiff's counsel violated Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 11 by failing to undertake a reasonable inquiry into the facts before filing the complaint and failing to seek admission pro hac vice to the court. Carter's attorney requested an expedited briefing schedule for a motion to strike the first amended complaint under Federal Rules of Civil Procedure 11 and 12. The next day, Carter's counsel submitted yet another filing, a motion for the emergency order directing the preservation of evidence and striking the amended complaint under Rule 12. Now, the judge is going to respond to the motion to proceed anonymously. Girl, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Andrew Mack. Yes, God, honey, now, baby. This thing is about to be very dynamic, honey. This whole case, I can see right now. It's about to be very dynamic. In deciding whether a plaintiff may proceed anonymously, courts balance the plaintiff's interest in anonymity against both the public interest in disclosure and any prejudice to the defendant. The Second Circuit has laid out a non-exhaustive list of factors to be considered. 1, whether the litigation involves matters that are highly sensitive and of a personal nature, which this is, of course. It involves grape and then grape at the time in which an individual was a child. Whether identification poses a risk of retaliatory physical or mental harm to the party seeking to proceed anonymously, or even more critically, to innocent non-parties, okay? Alex Spiro may have fucked this up for Jay-Z, and I said this in our last live stream. I said, I hope that, because based upon the things that Tony Buzbee said in his defense of everything that Alex Spiro was throwing his way, I said in my live stream that while I do believe that Alex Spiro is getting down in the gutters, just like Tony Buzbee, because that's what attorneys do. Even attorneys who are really good at what they do, like Alex Spiro, they're human nonetheless, and they let their egos get away from them. And I said that I hope that his actions and antics do not cost Jay-Z. Well, it looks like his antics are costing Jay-Z, and that is so fucking unfortunate, girl. Shout out to Baby Mother Teresa for thank you for the readings. Thank you so much, Baby Mother Teresa. Thank you so much, love. All right. Whether identification presents other harms and the likely severity of those harms, including whether the injury litigated against would be incurred as a result of the disclosure of the plaintiff's identity, whether the plaintiff is particularly vulnerable to the possible harms of disclosure, particularly in light of her age, whether the suit is challenging the actions of the government or that of private parties, whether the defendant is prejudiced by allowing the plaintiff to press her claims anonymously, whether the nature of that prejudice, if any, differs at any particular stage of the litigation, and whether any prejudice can be mitigated by the district court, whether the plaintiff's identity has thus far been kept confidential, whether the public's interest in the litigation is furthered by requiring the plaintiff to disclose her identity. Okay, so these are all the things that the courts are considering when permitting a plaintiff to proceed anonymously. Whether because of the purely legal nature of the issues presented or otherwise, there is an atypically weak public interest in knowing the litigants' identities, and whether there are any alternative mechanisms for protecting the confidentiality of the plaintiff. A court is not required to list each of the factors or use any particular formulation as long as it is clear that the court balanced the interests at stake in reaching its conclusion. Here, the weight of the factors tips in favor of allowing Little Miss Anonymity, Little Miss Leprechaun Bob, Little Miss Electric Scooter to remain anonymous, at least for this stage of the litigation, okay? So, two things I abstracted automatically off of this. Obviously, the courts do not plan to conceal this woman's identity forevermore. They just feel like it is too premature in that stage, and given the sensitive circumstances here, this is involving grape. This is involving grape of a 38-year-old alleging that she was 13 when this happened. On top of that, this woman is a part of a special class of individuals. She is mentally impaired. She has autism so severe that she describes it as fireball in living inside of a ball with fire on the inside that's inescapable. All right. She carries around a support stuffed animal, okay, to help her to deal with her public anxiety and any other stimulation that may be unnerving to her autism, okay, which is exactly why I feel like this whole lawsuit is absolutely absurd, and it's so preposterous and ridiculous when you actually internalize that and then consider what this woman is alleging in terms of her mobility as a severely autistic 13-year-old girl, and the circumstances of the whole thing just literally makes no fucking sense. Not only will there have been massive physical challenges, but the facts don't also fact, such as there was no Jumbotron for the VMAs 2000. There was none. MTV did not have a permit to stream nor to install a Jumbotron in Midtown for the sake of streaming it to the general public in Midtown. But this girl claims that she viewed the entire ceremony that she attempted to illegally break into from outside of Radio City Music Hall on the Jumbotron. Okay? She is asserting that this had to have happened in the year 2000 and not the year 2003, like Tisha Tell would love to believe it happened in, because she says she saw Eminem perform outside of Radio City Music Hall, which his performance was outside of the Radio City Music Hall that year. But obviously, that is not private information. Anybody who watched the damn VMAs in the year 2000 would know that. Anybody who Googled where Eminem, if Eminem performed, what his performance was like in the year 2000, we would have pulled that up on YouTube, okay? But she is enforcing that this had to have happened in the year 2000 because she watched Eminem perform outside, which is the only time he's ever performed outside of the Radio City Music Hall, which was in the year 2000. And then a plethora of other goddamn factually inconsistent things, such as the location of the drivers, baby. They are not accessible to the general public because these drivers are driving stars. They have their own section. They have their own cutoff. They are safely guarded. The public is not able to access, communicate, interact with the personal drivers of the celebrity. So this whole thing about her having a conversation before and after with the driver, etc., girl, also doesn't make any factual sense. Another factual inconsistency is the fact that this New Jersey Alpine property that Tisha Tell believes is the house in question in her 2003 timeline is not actually white like the accuser claims. It is a brick and mortar colored home. On top of that, Diddy did not even purchase the New Jersey Alpine property until 2004, not 2003, and not the year 2000. So she was not at this fucking property. But just like we found, right, all that information by simply Googling, this is all information that could have been available to Little Miss Anonymity through the click of a keyboard to co-wangle her narrative together in order to shake Jay-Z ass down for however many millions her and Tony Buzbee are fucking going for, because she clearly wants her 15 minutes of fame, and that is not going to end well for her, and we'll get into why that ain't going to end well for her. Then there is the preposterousness of just what happened afterwards, given everything that this woman claims happened to her. Once she arrived at this after party, took a drink that made her woozy, fell asleep, and then woke up to being brutally assaulted by Jay-Z and Diddy. From physical assault to actual assault, she ran through the house, barely dressed, out the front door in the middle of the night through a upscale community with nobody taking notice of what you can assume to be a distressed 13-year-old girl fleeing in the middle of the night on foot, barely dressed, after just being brutally assaulted by two men, having no idea where she is. You cannot imagine that she just calmly walked to a gas station, honey. You would imagine that this was a completely frantic, panic-stricken situation, and yet there's nobody to corroborate seeing this little white 13-year-old girl screaming through the community, running through the community, no nothing. She finds some random ass gas station, and there's a clerk that's kind enough to allow her to use the phone to call her father to come pick her up, who's 5 hours away. But the same clerk, along with any of the other clerks and supervisors that would have been there, doesn't also think to call 911 because this young, clearly battered, clearly disturbed, beaten, and distressed 13-year-old girl who's alone, and you just heard her conversation with her father, and it's in the middle of the night, doesn't think to call 911. Not to make matters even more interesting, not only does the clerk not take any action aside from allowing this girl to use the phone, her father, who gets this random call in the middle of the fucking night by his 13-year-old severely autistic daughter, doesn't then call 911 to make sure that they intervene and safely pick her up and take her to a police precinct where he knows she's safe, since she's going to be waiting on him to get there for a total of 5 hours, and cannot fucking guarantee that she's going to be safe, cannot guarantee that she's going to be allowed to remain at this gas station for 5 hours, cannot guarantee that she's not going to make another dumbass decision like she did to apparently evade her home, lie to her parents, escape through the window, commute 5 hours across town, and then jump into the limousine of a random damn driver taken to a random location to be around people she don't fucking know. He can't guarantee any of that. But he also just answers the call and comes and pick her the fuck up without no intervention. To make matters even more interesting, Little Miss Anonymity claims that she and her father had zero conversation. Now, mind you, she said when her father came to get her, it was dawn. It was dawn, meaning that he didn't pick her up in the middle of the morning, in the middle of the night. So any bruises, any injuries she would have had to her face, to her body, her ripped clothing, dirt, the fact that she just got raped, I'm sure she's bleeding. She has injuries, obviously. Father doesn't take any notice to the injuries. They don't have a single conversation. He don't ask her where she was, what she was doing, what is going on, if she needs help. He doesn't take her to a hospital. He doesn't file a police report. And he doesn't file a police report because Little Miss Anonymity claims that she never told anybody this for a whole 24-something years. The father came forward to NBC News and claimed that, hey, the first time I heard about this shit is when she told it to Tony Buzbee, which is already a whistleblower in and of it damn self. And she's not even white. She's Latino, because Alex Spiro said in his PowerPoint presentation showing factually where his client was on the night of the VMAs in Club Twirl and Club Lotus. All night long. All night, baby. Okay, these wasn't just no short-lived appearances. They went in and partied at Club Twirl and Club Lotus. Now, we can get into later if Club Twirl is a goddamn gay club, if Jay-Z was up in there twerking, if he was sashay and Shantae. That is a whole nother video for another goddamn day. Okay? However, there is photographic evidence, witness evidence to corroborate exactly where the fuck Jay-Z was. Play by play by play by play by play. Okay? Now, Little Miss Anonymity claims that the woman who drove her across town is not even alive anymore, ironically. And her father also came forward and says, bitch, he has no fucking memory recall of picking his daughter up 5 hours across town at some random disclosed location, and that he would remember this. The only person that remembers this fantastical tale of being a 13-year-old girl is the 38-year-old woman that used to be a 13-year-old girl. So the facts don't fact, her timeline don't fit, the properties in question did not exist at the time her ordeal happened. She's admitted that her shit is inconsistent. There are a trillion errors, and the only thing she has truly is to claim that she was sexually assaulted by these two men. But when it comes to finding somebody guilty of something, baby, you need a lot more than an allegation, which is why it's considered an allegation until it's properly vetted and becomes a verdict. All right? A mess. But let's continue to read, girl. Factors 1, 2, 4, and 7 weigh strongly in favor of anonymity. In her admitted complaint, plaintiff alleges that defendants drugged and raped her when she was only 13. Courts in this district have recognized that allegations concerning sexual assault are highly sensitive and of extremely personal nature. Plaintiff is particularly vulnerable to the possible harms of disclosure. According to her admitted complaint, she continues to experience depression, post-traumatic stress disorder, and a seizure disorder associated with the stress of her sexual assault. Denying disclosure in part because of the risk is posed to plaintiff's already fragile mental state. Moreover, plaintiff's counsel asserts that many of his other clients who have filed similar suits against Sean Combs claim to have been threatened by Mr. Combs for their decision to speak out. And finally, although plaintiff sat for an interview with NBC News concerning her case, NBC allowed her to conduct the interview anonymously. Okay, so they're going to operate in the same brand and the same line of thinking. It's just keeping her as an anonymous individual for right now. Alex Spiro also did the same thing in his PowerPoint presentation when members of the media asked him about her identity. And he said he did not want to disclose. He wanted to remain on brand since she came forward as Jane Doe and she went to NBC as Jane Doe because the courts had not unveiled her identity he wasn't going to either. So the courts right now, as they said earlier, are going to permit her concealment because they just feel like it's, once again, it's early on. But she will not remain anonymous, but she will remain anonymous as of right now. Granted, several factors weigh against allowing plaintiff to proceed anonymously. Plaintiff is challenging the actions of private parties, not the government, and given the media attention surrounding this case, the public has a substantial interest in this litigation, separate and apart from its general interest in the accused being able to publicly confront an accuser. Alternative mechanisms may exist to protect confidentiality, namely the redaction and sealing of documents. Most importantly, plaintiffs' continued anonymity may cause prejudice to defendants, making it more difficult for them to collect the facts necessary to mount a defense and appropriate challenge plaintiffs' credibility. Identify the most significant form of prejudice the defendants as the discovery disadvantage that plaintiff's anonymity would present. The court does not take such prejudice likely. Nevertheless, though, at this exceedingly early stage in the case, the factors counseling against disclosure outweighs those that counsels in favor. All right. So the courts are saying, hey, we do recognize the importance of Jay-Z as being able to have a viable argument and being able to vet his accuser accordingly, so that he can continue to mount up his defense. However, though, considering the high-profile nature of this case and the sensitive nature of this case, it being grape, etc., and this being so early on, we don't feel the need to disclose right now. All right, let's filter this thing through a little bit more and get a little bit more further in to the litigation, and then we will proceed when we feel like it's absolutely necessary, which is going to be when it's discovery time. Accordingly, plaintiff's motion to proceed anonymously is granted. Plaintiff is advised that because the balance of these factors will certainly shift as this case proceeds, especially if and when the parties engage in discovery in earnest. The court intends to revisit this decision at a future date, okay? So the courts just literally said, girl, as of right now, she will remain anonymous for all those reasons. However, when and if the parties engage in discovery, then the courts will revisit this and her ass will be forced to come out of the genie's bottle. All right, remaining motions. Since Carter's attorney first appeared in this case 17 days ago, he has submitted a litany of letters and motions attempting to impugn the character of plaintiff's lawyer, many of them expounding on the purported urgency of this case, requesting to be heard on an expedited basis, and accusing plaintiff's counsel of exploiting the legal process to generate media attention, asserting that plaintiff's counsel seeks only to benefit himself. At 3, requesting the shortening of a deadline from 21 days to 1, describing plaintiff's counsel as willing to blatantly violate court ethical obligations of all attorneys, and requesting a hearing on a motion the following day. Carter's lawyers relentlessly filing of combative motions containing inflammatory language and ad hominem attacks is inappropriate, a waste of judicial resources, and a tactic unlikely to benefit his client. The court will not fast track the judicial process merely because counsel demands it. All right. So this is where Alex Spiro fucked up. See, Alex Spiro had a good thing going, baby. All he had to do is to stick to the facts, because in this case, for the first time in a long time, unlike we've seen in any other cases, the facts are so outrageously in favor of Jay-Z that you don't even have to add any other component to this. You don't have to add the ad hominem. You don't have to add the pettiness. You don't have to add the slander. You don't have to add none of that, baby. This is one of them situations, baby, where you let the facts and let the truth set every bitch in this situation free, including Little Miss Leprechaun Bob, baby. Okay? He was too busy trying to protect Jay-Z. Hey, Beachy. I got your comment, girl. He was busy trying to protect Jay-Z in the court. A public opinion got carried the fuck away. Okay? He been doing the most. He's taking this thing personally when it comes to his client. That emotionality is now coming back to bite Alex Spiro in the ass. And the thing about judges is you have to treat each judge and each case like an individual case, okay? all judges are not with the shits, okay? There are some judges that are with the shits, baby, okay? There are other judges who are very crispy, they're very crass, they're very conservative, baby. They don't need all this extraness, baby. They don't like reading all this ghetto ass shit. They don't give a fuck, honey. Okay, they impatient. They old as hell. They diabetes is diabetes, girl. Okay, they just not here for it all. So this judge is basically establishing that I'm not the one to play with. I don't want to see no ghetto ass buffoonery in my courts. Do things accordingly. Assert the fucking truth, and everything will be just fine. I will not allow either one of y'all to turn this courtroom into a circus, okay? And I ain't mad at the judge for that, okay? I'm really not mad at it. And I was afraid that this was going to fucking happen because I was saying that Alex Spiro he's dropping the ball when it comes to the court of public opinion a little bit because he's speaking ahead of himself. He's the one that also got Jay-Z caught up in all this whole being Diddy not friends thing, even though Jay-Z didn't say that. That came out of Alex Spiro's mouth, but Jay-Z out here getting chewed up as if he the one who said that him and Jay-Z are not friends, are not brothers, etc. But he's also been dropping the ball and trying to match energy with Tony Buzbee as it relates to slinging petty for petty. All right. They also are not going to be showing Jay-Z any special treatment just because he's a celebrity. I'm not mad at that either. While I do believe that Jay-Z is completely innocent given the facts of the case, he should not be treated any differently. However, not that him being a celebrity should give him special treatment, but because he is a public figure, I can also understand maybe why sometimes there is a given exception to public figures because their livelihood is very much so connected to their reputation, to their public image. Obviously, Jay-Z works for the NFL. He has other endorsements. He's married to another very high-profile celebrity, etc. A lot of things revolve around their public image. So I can understand why Jay-Z would be quick to want this thing expedited because he has a lot to fucking lose as a result of a frivolous fucking lawsuit filed against him, especially of this given nature. But the courts have already been completely off-put by Alex Spiro, already acting a fool in court, and then also being demanding. And I think the judge now is not in a good mood. He's not in a good mood with Jay-Z's party, girl. Okay. This doesn't mean that the verdict is going to go any differently, girl. But at the same time, you don't want to get on the judge's bad side, baby. You just don't really want to do that. Okay. Moreover, although Carter's attorneys assails plaintiff's lawyer as having a chronic inability to follow the rules, Carter's counsel has failed to abide by this court's clear rules. Okay, they call it Alex Spiro a hypocrite. Under the court's individual practices in civil cases, and with limited exceptions, a pre-motion letter is required prior to the filing of any motion. Although Carter's attorney stated that he intended to file immediately a motion to strike the first amended complaint under Rule 12, he did not give plaintiff the requisite 5 business days to respond, wait for the court to set a motion schedule, or state whether any exception to the court's individual practices applied. This is unacceptable. Counsel is hereby advised that any other further motions filed in violation of the court's individual practices may be denied on that ground alone. Okay, baby? They're cutting no fucking corners. Lastly, although Carter's attorney is entitled to file a Rule 11 motion without first seeking leave of court, the court discourages this approach. If he still intends to serve plaintiff with a motion for sanctions, the court denies his request to shorten the safe harbor provisions contained within Rule 11 from 21 days to 1 day. So they're going to, they don't advise it, but hell, they can't keep him from filing if he feels that there's a God-given case and foundation for that. But what they are saying is that they're not going to expedite that from 21 days to 1 day. It will proceed accordingly. Carter's motion to strike the amended complaint under Rule 12 is denied. By January 10th of 2025, plaintiff shall file her response to Carter's motion for an order directing the preservation of evidence, which is what she has to respond to next. That's what we'll be seeing out of the Buzbee firm. By January of 17th of 2025, Carter shall file his reply, if any. All right. So there's that, girl. The judge is setting the tone, basically, okay? This is not anything to be afraid of. Jay-Z's not losing in court. He hasn't been found guilty of anything. But the judge, recognizing some of the buffoonery and some of the arrogance on Alex Spiro's part, who is obviously representing Jay-Z and all of these motions, is humbling Alex Spiro and letting him know that he's not the judge. He's just a fucking attorney. They're going to do things how they typically do things in the court, and they really don't give a fuck, once again, about Jay-Z as being a celebrity or what's on the goddamn line, etc. And I do feel like they justify it real well why they want Little Miss Anonymity to remain anonymous as of right now. The courts have not ruled on whether this is going to trial. This case very well still could be thrown the fuck out, etc. As the court said, girl, this is just early bullshit. Early back and forth. Okay, the courts are trying to tie up all the loose ends. And consider all things given. Exactly, the plaintiff's identity will be revealed during discovery, and if there's even a discovery. Okay, so the courts once again are also reminding us that it may not even make it that far. This thing still could be tossed out. Jay-Z could be redacted from this thing, etc. But they are addressing the issues that are already happening as it relates to some of the tactics and behaviors of Alex Spiro. What I don't like that the courts are doing, but I understand that no court litigation is fair because it falls within a human, on human hands. Okay, this is a judge here. He's a man. He's a judge, but he's also a man. Alex Spiro done got on his goddamn nerve. Okay, with all these relentless filings and all of this and all of these goddamn demands and all of this petty shit, etc. And even though the judge acknowledges that there also may be room to criticize Tony Buzbee, he really didn't nuance that. He instead just slammed Alex Spiro for being a hypocrite, but also did not recognize the same ghetto behavior from Buzbee. However, the judge right now is taking up more issue with Spiro. So that's where his emotional energy is going toward. So, given all things, Alex Spiro just got to clean it the fuck up, bro. You got to clean it the fuck up. You got to relax. Slick your hair back, okay? When y'all white boys have that slick back, girl, y'all act real right, girl. Something about that slick bike just also slicks back the pettiness, baby. Y'all on y'all academia. Y'all on y'all intellect. So, Spiro, get you some mountain water, baby, and some Gorilla Glue, girl, and get your slick back together, bitch, because right now, baby, you acting like a nigga in court, baby, and the judge ain't here for it. And at the end of the day, bitch, Jay-Z ass is the one who gonna have to pay for all of it, all right? So this is interesting. Jay-Z also is getting an interesting experience of being humbled as well. I wonder how Jay-Z feels. I think Jay-Z and Spiro's attitude here was, we can go about this any which way we want to because the facts fact. So who cares? Let's just slam them, rip them up, tear their ass up. The courts done allowed a lot of petty shit to be published since all this Diddy indictment shit, baby. A lot of other celebrities done caught strays. A lot of outrageous claims done been made for a whole 2024. So I think Alex Spiro got comfortable thinking that there was a anything goes type attitude. As long as his client was innocent, probably then didn't think he had to be as structured on the professionalism, girl. Okay, so I really hope that it Dextra says it's a dumb judge. You know, I don't think the judge is dumb. Because I'm not mad at the judge for regulating, like, regulate it, right? Like, regulate. And this thing with Diddy is so much of a circus that the truth is we really don't need the extraness, even from Alex Spiro. Let it be about the facts. Let's not indulge the clownery. Let's not indulge the foolery. There's enough misinformation going on in this whole Diddy shit. There's enough frivolous lawsuits. There's enough outrageous claims that have to be sorted through. I'm not mad at a judge for wanting to grip up the truth, whatever that is, and just filter all the other bullshit completely out. Okay? Because that is kind of refreshing. I just hope that Alex Spiro can get his head top right. I'm sure he had to call Jay-Z today. But first speak to Solange, and then speak to Beyonce, and then finally to Jay-Z as to get Jay-Z an apology, because he's the reason why Jay-Z getting ate up on today. Today was a victory for Little Miss Anonymity and Tony Buzbee. They won the battle, but this is not the war. And like I said before, girl, I know that Jay-Z ass has been trying to get this thing dissolved, not only for the sake of his coin and him and his wife's brand, but girl, I am almost plus positive that Solange and Beyonce are going upside Jay-Z's head every motherfucking day that this litigation lasts. Because you can see from the filings that Jay-Z is completely stricken, girl, and it's because he's getting Chun-Li at home, girl. He is getting Ike Turner, girl. Y'all out here think that damn Jay-Z the dangerous one, baby. It's damn Beyonce who got Jay-Z hemmed up in the goddamn recording booth like Ike did the Tina girl, and what's love got to do with it, baby? It's her ass, baby, slamming that goddamn man head up against the goddamn glass, baby, and stuffing red velvet cake down his damn nostrils, bitch, at the local Waffle House, girl. Okay, baby, y'all thinking that it's damn Jay-Z, girl, who moving the weight, child. It is Beyonce ass, baby. You think that bitch ain't got all the damn testicular strength? Y'all just saw her ass rising to the damn east yesterday doing that NFL performance, girl. Y'all saw her riding horseback, baby. Okay? Y'all saw it, baby. Okay, baby? That bitch got kangaroo feet, baby. Okay? I know her and Solange down there whipping Jay-Z ass every goddamn day, baby. When Jay-Z said in his Rock Nation upload a few weeks ago, girl, that he had to sit down, him and his wife had to sit down with their babies and talk about this, girl. Jay-Z was whistleblowing then, girl, that the nose home is upside down, baby. It's dishes and frying pans up against the wall every motherfucking day, baby. Okay? So at the same time, I understand this is major urgency. For Jay-Z, girl, he down there allegedly getting DV'd by Beyonce ass and her sister girl, honey. And I ain't mad at it, but they got to calm down. They just got to know that this thing, baby, this is going to be a slow road to victory, but nonetheless, the victory. And for all the Jay-Z haters, baby, who want to see Jay-Z go down, baby, that is fine to want to see Jay-Z ass go down. He just ain't going to go down for this, okay? I don't know what he done did with Foxy Brown, baby. I don't know what the hell he done did to Kathy White, baby. I don't know what he done did with all these goddamn video vixens that he allegedly got children with out in Trinidad and the Congo and shit, baby. But in this case, baby, this is a factual-less case. In my opinion, by an attorney who attempted to use this mentally impaired woman, exploit her, embarrass her by using her to get a shakedown from Jay-Z behind the scenes while they tried to optimize on all the shenanigans going on with this dog pile against P. Diddy, who I also believe is very much so guilty of a lot of things. But like I told you guys early on, we've covered enough cases here. We've provided enough coverage to know that when it comes to all high-profile cases, whether they involve government officials, athletes, celebrities, there's always The clout chasers, those who want 15 minutes of fame, those who are trying to be opportunistic under the circumstances. And then there's the real accusers. That's going to be the same thing for Diddy. There's going to be a lot of people who have real substantive cases against Diddy. And then there's going to be the bullshitters. There's going to be the money grabbers. There's going to be the clout chasers. There's going to be all of that. And it's up to the courts to deal with the task of sorting through accordingly. So whatever Jay-Z might be guilty of, his day will come. And as I always say, all bodies float to the top of the water eventually, baby. So if Jay-Z got bodies, if he got skeletons, baby, enough pressure gonna be applied to the dough to make that closet bust wide open. But what you don't have to do is try to force fetch to happen and to make narratives work just because you're so invested in seeing somebody go the fuck down. And you damn sure do not trade out facts in support of a fucking narrative. I don't give a fuck how much you don't like somebody. I don't give a damn how much you feel like somebody is a bad person and feel like somebody is this, that, and the third. When the facts, you got to discard your facts in support of the truth and the facts that will set your motherfucking ass free, baby. And you just got to trust that whatever the truth is, whatever the situation is that a person is factually guilty in, will eventually make it to the docket, baby. But you do not just take anything thrown at your ass and then have the audacity to have the facts contradict the narratives and then still persist on elevating and pedestalizing the narrative over the facts, child. So that's that, child. I got to get up out of her. Okay. I got things to do. I got food to eat. If you enjoyed yourself, y'all know what to do, baby. Give an old nasty piece of donation. Shout out to my baby mother, Miss Thompson, for the old nasty child support check. Thank you, CTV, for the legal read down on Purry, baby. Y'all know, baby. Only CTV, baby. Only CTV can do this, baby. That's why I got to do it, baby. Okay? These streets ain't streeting unless I'm in these sky reads. All right? So y'all show some love to a nigga. Email me all the two. Keep me posted. Follow me on Instagram and Patreon. Have a wonderful, wonderful Thursday, and I will see you all later. Peace.